Hello, I'm Atrin, and welcome back to Tutorial France. Today we're going to be looking a little bit at how technology works in Europa Universalis 4, and also gearing up for our next war. We've already built up our fleet a bit, and in the last video we built some Zerg galleys, really, to try to compete with the English fleet, at least in some regard, and we're just sort of finishing out the last preparations. So let's kick off the episode by looking at how technology works in this game. There are three kinds of technology corresponding to the three kinds of points. That's administrative technology, diplomatic technology, and military technology. And they deal with sort of realms of influence, sort of like the points do. So administrative tech is stuff that leads to better government, better economy, better tolerance, better unrest, and also sort of national specialization. Diplomatic ideas affect diplomacy, but mostly trade and naval power in terms of technology. So that's where all the ship technologies are located, is in diplomatic technology. And military technology affects the abilities of your land armies, and that's mostly what military tech is for. It's very important not to fall too far behind in military tech, because you start losing battles just due to your army not being able to fight that well compared to the enemy. So, techs usually cost around 600 as a base. It goes up slightly, very slightly, as the game progresses. So, Tech 12 is slightly more expensive than Tech 6. It's like 2 or 3% more, 5% more. I don't know what the exact percentage is. But it's roughly 600 points required. So we actually got a notification that we're eligible for a tech right now, even though we don't have 600 points. And I'll show you how that works right now. To get to the technology screen, you can either click on the little notification when it appears, and it can be taken right to the screen, or you can click on the kingdom menu icon and click over to the thing that looks like gears, and you can see the technology screen. So on here, just as a way of introduction to the screen, which is a little bit busy, there's a number of important things. There's our technology group, which is Western technology. That is the best technology group in the game. There are many others. There's Eastern European, there's Ottomans, which have their own unique ones. There is the Muslim tech groups, there's Sub-Saharan Africa, there's one for Native America, there's one for India, there's one for China, there's one for the Mongol hordes, or maybe they share Muslim, I don't remember. But regardless, there's a a penalty to all groups except for Western to earn to pay for technology. So an Eastern, I believe, is 110 or 120%. I don't remember, but it would be like 720 points to go up a tech instead of 600. Western is the best tech group in the game, although we have some of the weakest units compared to other culture groups. But we don't need to worry about that. We're not fighting anybody but Westerners. So I'll get into that another time when we actually start fighting something that is not Westerners. Alright, so we have the three categories of tech: administrative technology, diplomatic technology, and military tech. The current technology level, the next technology level, what that next technology gives us is these little icons that appear in it. And if the button is highlighted blue, that means you can advance it. You can click on it to do the advancement. So, and then these things over here are listings of the various bonuses you could have accumulated through tech and or can accumulate through tech over the course of the entire tech line. Tech is not branching in EU4. You simply go up from Tech 3 to Tech 4 in each category, Tech 4 to Tech 5, etc., etc. There's no cross prerequisites, so I could leave diplomatic technology at 3, decide I don't care about boats and or trading, and just leave diplomatic technology at 3 and advance everything else. I don't know why I do that. Diplomatic points usually aren't that uncommon. But anyway, because we're very interested in colonizing, we need to get to diplomatic tech 7 before we can colonize. And the reason for that is there's an attribute that's called colonial range, and that's over here. You can see we got a boost to it at level 3, which we started with automatically, and there's another big boost to it at level 7, and we need that colonial range to make it across the Atlantic Ocean. So in order to participate in the colony rush, we need to get to level 7 and as soon as we can. So we're going to want, that's one of the reasons I've been reluctant to overspend in like diplomatic slots, because I want to have every single diplomatic point going to diplomatic technology. So we are somehow able to pay for our diplomatic technology and advance it to level 4, which we're probably going to do, but I'm going to actually take a look at why that is. So you can see that, as I said, the base cost is 600. Tech 4, I guess you get a slight discount, so 0.30. I don't know what that amounts to, but like 1 or 2 points. But the two big ones here are the Curia controller, which was the bonus we picked up last time for investing in the Curia and winning because nobody else actually invested. So we get 30 points off, or 5%, for being the Curia controller. We also get 5% off because one of our neighbors, that is to say somebody in our tech group, already has this technology. So they basically did us a favor and paid the full cost so we don't have to. So we can actually see who that is if we want. There is a technology map mode. It is this gear thing. And we're highlighted in colors sort of according to the total number of techs that we've accumulated. So you can see that almost everybody in the known world actually has the same tech level because we all start at 3. And we have Aragon, which is this entire section that's green here, even though they're split over several actually landforms. They have acquired a technology, and so has, I don't know who this is, some small, what is that? It's Frankfurt. Okay, so Frankfurt is technologically advanced. So Frankfurt picked up a diplomatic tech, so we can thank them for giving us a discount on the tech we want to buy. And Aragon has military tech 4, so they're a more formidable army than anybody else in the game for about another, I don't know, 6 months or so until everybody else can afford it. So going back to the technology screen, that accounts for why we can purchase diplomatic technology, because we have 562 points and we get a 60 point discount for having those two, the neighbor bonus and the Curia controller. This shows the neighbor bonus. That's it's 5% per level of tech that a neighbor has ahead of us. So if we decided to let diplomatic tech lag and Frankfurt got up to level 5 diplomatic tech and we were still on level 3, then this bonus would go up to 10%. Generally not worth getting that far behind in tech for a small savings of 30 points, but it is nice to get the first level if you can. If the game will cooperate, if the AI will cooperate and actually advance its tech first. Sometimes it won't, and sometimes we'll have to deal with that. But aside from that, we're going to go ahead and pay for this diplomatic technology. Oh, what does it get us? It gets us increased trade range, which I'm not going to talk about. It's actually relatively unimportant, and we'll deal with that when we actually take a look at trade, when we actually have some trading to do, or some merchants to assign, or some actual control of our trade. The other thing it does is it gets us the ability to build a marketplace. We were looking at buildings earlier, or I briefly showed the building screen, and I commented that the only thing we could build was a castle, so there wasn't much point in looking at it. Marketplace is actually much more interesting, but also not that useful because of our trade pattern right now. All of our trade is not staying with us, so I may or may not build any marketplaces right off the bat. I'm more interested in building up our military. When we get administrative tech 4, we will get temples, and I will be definitely building those, so we can take a look at the building system at that point. Alright, so I purchased it. I get a nice little pop-up telling us that, and you can actually see that the next available technology is basic financial instruments, which gives us another trade range bonus, which you probably don't care about, and also trade efficiency, which affects the money we make off trade, which, as I said, not something I'm that worried about at the moment. You can also see that this thing over here that used to show us our neighbor bonus now shows an ahead-of-time penalty. That means that basically we would be, if we took Tech 5 at this point, we would be basically 4 years ahead of time for when that tech theoretically could have been developed in like real-world timeline. So we pay a 40% penalty, which would be 4 times 6, 240 extra points. So suffice it to say, we're not going to be paying 40% penalty. We're not going to have enough points to do it anyway. But yeah, we need 813 points right now to go up a diplomatic tech level, and we have 24. By the time we get enough points, this penalty will have been ticked off. Tick down. It'll tick down by 10% each year in January, I believe. So military tech, we have a neighbor bonus, so we'd like to take that as soon as possible. We'd also like to take it as soon as possible because we're about to fight a war, and it gives us bonuses to our morale and to our military tactics. Military tactics both allows us to do more damage and helps us take less damage, and morale helps us win the, you saw that most battles don't end in a death of the army, stack wipe we call it. Instead, one of them retreats, and this helps us not be the army that retreats. So we'll pick that up as soon as we can. It estimates that July of next year we should be able to do it, and that, unless we spend some points, is probably accurate. Administrative tech looks like April of next year because we have a lot more of those points. We don't have a neighbor bonus. I'm probably going to wait to take it until we do have a neighbor bonus. Administrative points are always nice, and while I want to build some temples, there's no crushing need for them right off the bat, so we'll wait for that. So let's resume. We're just about to finish our mission in Brittany. Florence has full annexed Lucca, which was predictable given that they had no allies. So, right? Florence is getting big. Big for Italian minor. Florence allied with Genoa. Very interesting. I would have thought they would have gone to war. Who is Florence's enemies? Florence doesn't like the Papal State. Doesn't like Milan. Milan and the Papal State are allies, I believe. Yes, they are. They are totally allies. And they also don't like Siena, who isn't much of a threat, although Siena has no allies. So they probably attack Siena next. So at this point, it looks like Florence has the best shot at forming Italy, although it's just a mess, and it's going to continue to be a mess down here. Probably what will happen is that one of these guys will get overconfident, conquer too much, incur too much aggressive expansion, get a coalition war that'll come in, split off all the stuff that they took, and they'll be back at square one. Yeah. Alright, so Florence and, yeah, go ahead. Alright, we finished our mission with Brittany, so let us recall that diplomat, because I don't really care that much about Brittany. I was really only doing that because I wanted the mission to finish. Poland declared war on the Teutonic Order. That's very common. They want Danzig and a couple of other provinces. Danzig is a very important port on the Baltic Sea, so Poland wants that land. Just about everybody wants that land. Denmark wants that land. Sweden wants it. Pomerania wants it. Poland wants it. Looks like Poland's going to get it. Though that's far from guaranteed, because as soon as Teutonic Order's army is gone, everybody that wants that land will dogpile on the Teutonic Order. So we can pick a new mission. Our options are to save the Francian people in Maine, which is going to give me a free claim on Maine, isn't it? And I'm busy fabricating one. That's kind of irritating. I still might want to do that because I might want to do it anyway. And efficient integration, that is 10 months of additional autonomy change, but it's on Maine, which is not that great of a province, right? No, it's a 16. Never mind. I was thinking that was a 10. It's this one down here that's a 10. And we've got 15. Yeah, so 16 is not terrible. It's got a good trade good. So, yeah, that might be reasonable. Either one of those, basically, both of these are saying go to war with Provence. So, guess what we'll be doing? We'll be going to war with Provence. So we can get man cover recovery speed for taking Anjou, and some yearly prestige, which we probably don't need. We can get efficient integration, which is a much, much better bonus. I think we want to do this. And did that give us a free claim? It did. Alright, so this diplomat can just come back because I already have that claim. And we can start on a third claim. So I like that all around. That saved my diplomat some time, and I think that's a better reward. So let's wait for our diplomats to come home. Here's the one back from Brittany. So we need to start claiming something. I guess Provence. It's a covert. I don't know why I have economy actions open. Yeah, we've claimed just about everything we can claim from them. Or do I want Barrois? I kind of want both, but I can't have them both. Or I can't have claims on them both. I'm certainly not. I'm probably going to get one more claim, and while that claim is running, start a war. The claim can continue, but you can't start any new ones after a war. So I definitely do not want Draguignan, since it's the weakest province, and it's also the least important, it's the least contested. What about Barrois? I'd kind of like to take that before Burgundy does. Sure, let's do that. Doesn't really help me in my wars with England, but whatever. It'll help me field a bigger army, which will be a lot of use in getting across the channel. Alright, and then what do I want to do with my other diplomat now that he is free? That's a good question. What to do with this other diplomat? I think the answer is I should probably start fabricating on Burgundy to keep my options open. So, what are... well, the logical one to take is Picardy, so let's do that. And yes, I have a relatively low chance of getting caught. So yeah, let's do that. The reason I want to get Picardy is because I can then get to Calais and attack Calais once I have taken Picardy. though we are going to be in a war with England before that, because they're going to join in our war with Provence. So we are finishing up gathering our ships together. Do I want to build more land troops now, considering we're about to go to war? I think I do. So let's take a look. We can build 8 troops. And I think I just want to build more infantry. These cavalry are expensive and not all that useful. I mean, they're actually relatively good fighters at this point, though they won't. Maybe I'll build 2. That's an additional 1 per. That would increase my maintenance by quite a bit. No, let's just build regular troops. We'll build cavalry later. Okay, so we need, how many? We need 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alright, and we can go ahead and start getting our troops in position to attack, although I should probably raise maintenance at least a little bit. So that's the wrong tab. Yeah, it's not 0. That's good enough for now. So we need to try to take these provinces right off the bat, because otherwise Brittany will try to. They may try to anyway. But if I get armies there first, I'll be in good shape. So we're gonna probably try to blitz these 2 provinces, helped out by him not having very many troops actually here. We can probably do that with 1 army, because the army can go here, attack Maine, take it in a month, and then get to Anjou almost certainly before Brittany joins in. Just destroying this army is not going to make them care that much. So for that, I probably don't need more than 10 troops to take these 2 provinces. So let's split off 5 guys off of here, select this unit, send it to Orléans in preparation for that attack. For Provence, we're going to have Provence and Savoy fighting us here, and we're actually probably going to try to... What are we going to try to do? How much does Lorraine have? I can't see Lorraine's troops. Lorraine has 6k. That's not very strong. And I don't think I can move past Barrois because there's a fort. So yeah, I just have to deal with... Lorraine's going to come in, and there's not much I can do about it. I was thinking about posting an army up here to try to come in here and wipe out Lorraine's army before moving down here, and basically trying to just hold the line on here and then push back. But I don't think I want to do that. I think I'm going to go ahead and let Lorraine come in. I'll probably take this army that I stationed Orléans, kill Maine, take it over, send 1 guy over here to hold or maybe 1 or 2 guys to hold the siege of Anjou, and then take the rest of those back and try to chase Lorraine out of my troops. So out of my land. So their plan will be into Maine, split up, go to Anjou, and then back over here to defend that side. And then the main bulk of my troops will be down here to start. England will be potentially landing troops up here, but I'll just have to deal with that when that happens. England may not be done with this war. Their troops... Hey, look! Some of their troops are down here. Yeah, they got 9-unit army in. And quite led by their king. No, that's not their king. That's a general. It's not Richard Plantagenet. This name the same as some of the dynasty names the same. Right. So let's take these 20. This will be our main army and put it in Dauphiné. And we'll have these 5 go to Auvergne, and the other 8 I will gather in Auvergne, and we'll have 3 army stacks to start. At least that's a good plan to start. And what do I want to do with these ships? Can I beat this? I could totally beat that fleet. That's not even close. That's not even funny. I could probably beat these 2 fleets together. But they may not come out to play, because they may be too busy. They'll do what I did and just cower in port if they don't think they can win. So yeah, let's continue to wait until our ships get in one place. We have to wait a bit anyway until the troops get built. And actually, yeah, we got too many troops crossing in the one spot. We're not that far from war. I'm going to go ahead and raise maintenance to full so that we can get our troops' morale all the way up. Low maintenance means you have low morale troops, so it's not generally a good idea. All right, our entire no, didn't we have 8? 1, 2? No, we had 7. So we're at How many galleys do we have? We have 7 galleys. Yeah, so we have built all our galleys. We've gathered our entire like fighting fleet. The cogs sort of don't count together in one spot, and it just remains to see how we want to position that. I think the answer is I want to take them up to the channel right now and see if I can find the English trade fleet. Because I'd like to declare. Oh, there it was. It went north. We want to declare war, ideally when we can ambush the English trade fleet, do some damage to it, and then go home, dock up, repair, and then go hunt the English military fleet. And again, probably zerg it. We're not actually going to probably kill it, but we can weaken it and maybe build some more ships. I don't know. We'll see. I wasn't really expecting to fight another war against England quite this fast, but they had to stick their nose into Provence's business, so I was perfectly happy to give you a truce, England. Alright. What? Skull icon? Oh, well, that's bad supply limit. Okay, let's go to Languedoc then. Channel. Oh, and we just lost a bunch of manpower because I just recruited a bunch more troops. And every time you recruit a troop, it takes 1,000 manpower. So that's kind of unfortunate, but I don't think there's much I can do about that. Alright, army has arrived at Languedoc, so it's safe. This guy can now go over here. Got a bunch more troops finishing. Come here, all of you to there, and 3 of you to there. Did I miss anybody? You? There. You? There. Yes. Everybody there. Yeah, they're all moving. Again, the outliner comes to the rescue here to show us what's going on. Army de Bretagne. Yeah, we're just going to wait for all these armies to gather together, and we're now, unfortunately, losing money. We're not losing very much, but we are losing money. Keep going. Yes, keep going. We get it. They're arriving in Auvergne. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Oh, Burgundy declared war on Provence. Well, how about that? So the question is, do we delay just long enough to get people's forces committed to Burgundy? The problem is that... That's a very interesting development that, again, I was not quite expecting. So I assume that Burgundy is fighting Provence, Lorraine, England, Savoy, and Montferrat. That's a lot of troops. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to let Burgundy fight this war for a bit. So I'm going to actually pull maintenance back down again to stop us from losing that 0.06 ducats a turn. Sure, 1 ducat's fine. That way I don't have quite as far to go when I raise it again. So Milan wants military access. Why? Oh, they're an ally of Burgundy. Sure, I don't care. Milan, go for it. That does mean Burgundy probably can come over here and attack these, but I'm not all that worried about it. I'm actually going to, just to make sure that this works well, I'm going to take 2 more guys up here and put them in Orléans. And holy moly, look at all the armies move! I'm going to turn the speed down to 3, just because I actually want to be able to track what's going on. Okay, there is the English trade fleet attacking the Burgundian battle fleet, which is really pathetic. They've got 2 heavies and some useless transport ships. I don't think they'll win that. They're going to lose in the round anyway. But England might lose a ship or 2, which would be good from our standpoint. Is the English army... Where is the English... The English army is still going down here. You're crazy, England. You're now fighting 3 wars for other people after being beaten in a war by me. I think you're a little overstretched here. Right. Well, again, I don't think that changes the overall reading. That. Oh, wait. What do we got? I could get 10% spy offense. I really don't need any more. I'll take the free prestige, sure. And I think our relationship with Castile's doing pretty good at this point. Alright, we have technology available. That's probably administrative tech. we don't have a neighbor bonus, so I'm actually just going to hold off on that for now. Oh yeah, there's another good reason to continue this war this way. We can get our military power up to the point where we can take the military tech in July and be at Tech 4 before we actually fight this war. It doesn't really matter, you know, it's not going to have any impact in terms of whether, I mean, you don't have to have the tech before the war starts to matter, but it just means we have an edge right off the bat. The other good thing, of course, that's happening is, look, you have men from Holland beating up the Provençal army that was here hanging out. You have army here from Brabant attacking and damaging, at least, the army in Lorraine. So these are all troops that would have fought us and may still fight us, but are conveniently attacking other people. So looks like Milan lost a battle somewhere. Not entirely sure where. Can we see how many battles have been fought? No, apparently not. Let's see in the ledger if we can tell. Burgundy and conquest of Barrois. There have been 3 battles somehow that have all netted 0. So they've probably been, you know, either minor battles or things like the ship battle here. Yeah, England didn't even lose a ship. Boo! Not what I wanted to see. What is that, a trade ship? Yay! Our vassal has a trade ship! Yeah, these guys aren't even bothering to undock their ships. And Milan obviously lost a battle in here somewhere. That is a... Wow, that's 12,000 men that they're reduced to 6,000. So they lost a battle pretty badly. Probably because they attacked the mountains or something. And then we have Provence and Burgundy fighting down here, and Savoy hanging out. Savoy lost a lot of men too. So this was probably, these two were probably somewhat the same thing. Maybe Milan attacked Montferrat and Savoy defended it, but Savoy had 12,000 men is down to 6,000, and Milan had 12,000 men is down to 6,000. So great, again, great. You guys, you're both my rivals. Take each other out, please. Just don't take each other out so much that I can't go in and get provinces from Provence and province, whatever. I can't get, you know, I want to make sure I can get power projection from it. So we're not going to wait too much longer to declare. We'll just let the, you know, the Burgundians take off. Yeah, see, they're stack wiping that Savoy stack. Good strategy, Burgundy. And then here's Provence picking off a Nevers army that's not very strong. So it's kind of, again, kind of a mixed bag. Like I said, I'm happy for them to all lose stuff. All right. So it looks like England has decided to declare an end to the 100 Years' War. Probably a good idea. That should mean that they've given up their claims on the land that we just took from them. And we benefit from that anyway because we killed basically all of the petty counts and dukes and stuff got killed in the conflict. So they're much more solidly under the royal authority. So we get a free stability. We get our free stability back. Thank you. And we get 50 free administrative points, which is really good. So let's just let it go a few more minutes to try to get some more dead troops. And here's Provence attempting to attack that weak army from Milan that retreated, but it's going to be reinforced by Brabant and Holland. Basically, there's a zillion little armies in this fight. We can see that by diplomatic map mode. Yeah, you can see that this entire big chunk of stuff is in the war. Yeah, it's really, yeah, England and Provence, Lorraine, Savoy, Montferrat against Milan, Burgundy, and all of Burgundy's little friends. So, hey, see, they got reinforced, and they're going to win the battle quite easily. Wait, what? What? Oh, that's Lorraine recuperating. I thought that was somebody trying to siege that province, which is what I really didn't want to have happen. Yeah, Provence got defeated. That is good. Any idea where England is? See, the nice thing is I have Castile as an ally, and Castile has boats down here that give me visibility on some of this stuff. England? Nope, that's Portugal. England! Look! They've got 11,000 men sieging Fez. How's that war going? It's pretty much a stalemate. That will not happen. That will not continue. Even if England pulls out to go fight in the other 2 wars it's going to be in, it's already in 1, and it's going to be in a second when I declare. Aragon, and now that Portugal's rebuilt something, are more than capable of handling that. How is Portugal's army? Portugal. Yeah, see, Portugal's rebuilt its army to 12,000. It's eaten up most of its manpower doing so, and it's had to pay 6 mercenaries, who are probably basically means it's taking loans out to afford mercenaries. But they've got a decent military again. How about England? Has England lost any troops or manpower doing this stuff? Oh, wow, yeah. Wow, what? Wow. Look at that. They got hardly any men. They must have lost some in Morocco. And they've got almost no manpower, and they've got mercenaries. This is really bad for England, actually. If we can get across the channel, we can totally take some of their land. They don't have enough guys to defend it all. We don't want it. We're not going to be able to take it in this war, but we're going to be able to siege it and therefore knock England out of the war. So I'm going to let one more month tick away. June 1st. We've been making money. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to raise army maintenance. Somehow we're still making money, even though we weren't before. Maybe because local autonomy ticked down? I don't know. Alright, well, Savoy annexed Montferrat, so even though they were fighting together, it's one less thing we have to keep track of being separate. And we've got a retreating Provençal army. Savoy army that's chilling in our land. Novgorod, accept peace with Muscovy. Let's see how bad it was for... Oh, yeah, that was bad. That's really bad, Novgorod. Yes, they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 provinces to Muscovy. Yeah, like I said, not real good. They've got 3 provinces, 5 provinces, 6 provinces. Okay, well they got their stuff on the water, which means that Muscovy can't start building ships yet. But this is really bad. I'm glad that Poland and Lithuania are together, because they can hopefully help check the ridiculously growing Muscovy. Yeah, about that. So let's take a look at Muscovy's coalition map mode, since they just took a bunch of stuff. Yeah, see, this is what it looks like. You've got this pinkish color. Novgorod really hates them. That's really surprising. Sweden doesn't think much of them. Lithuania, yeah, they got about half of what they need to tick off Lithuania. Tver really doesn't like Muscovy, but Tver might well be a vassal of Muscovy to begin with. They're not. They're just warned by them. Ryazan, yeah, whatever. Anyway, you got a sense of what happens when you take a lot of land at the same time. You get a lot of aggressive expansion. Muscovy's kind of out on the edge, or Novgorod are both out on the edge of the world here, so nobody east of them is going to care. So they have a little bit reduced sort of spread because they're taking land that's out in the back of beyond. You tried that in the Empire, you would have the entire Empire coming down on you at the same time. Also, the provinces, well, that looked like a lot of land, and it was 8 provinces. It's not nearly as much, the geographic area is huge because the land is so uninhabited. 8 provinces in the empires. A much tinier geographic area, but it's probably actually more wealth. So we're letting our maintenance come back up, and then we're probably going to go ahead and start this war. Scotland broke their alliance with Novgorod because Novgorod is now too weak to be any use to them. What is it about giving me free claims on the things that I'm already getting claims on? Fine, I'll take it. I'm not going to complain. I mean, I'm going to complain, but I'm definitely going to take it. So we don't need our Burgundian diplomat that was forging a claim on Picardy doesn't need to be doing that anymore. So let's see, Artois. Or French Comte. I think I want French Comte. Not because it's particularly valuable to me, but because it's in the Empire and Austria could try to reclaim it, and I'd really rather not have that happen. So let's go ahead and take French Comte off them. It does give me very stupidly wonky borders in that I'll have... Well, maybe not if I take Barrois, then I'll just have Burgundy surrounded, or the southern enclave of Burgundy surrounded. Alright, so what are we waiting for? I'll go ahead and pull a diplomat back from Castile, since I don't really care about that anyway. Yes, I know about that. And I believe we can now get military tech 4, which we will do because we're about to go to war. And we now have better military tactics and land morale. Excellent. And somebody has purchased tech 3 tech 4 in administrative tech, so we can now take that without... We're not going to get any steeper discount. How much is it going to cost? 538. That should probably leave us. We need to reserve some administrative points for the following up to the war that's about to happen, but we still have 102 left, yeah, and we will accumulate more while the war is going on. So, right, let's take a look at the technology map mode real quick and see who picked up that administrative tech. We are now in the technology lead because we've gotten all 3 of them, and most other people haven't. Frankfurt now has military tech and diplomatic tech 4. Military tech 4. That's the Hansa, yes. 4 and 4. Ah, there's a... what's that? Mantua? Mantua has admin tech 4. Yeah, you'll see that everybody's going to be going over to 4 pretty soon. We're all getting relatively close. It's just a question of what kind of king you started with, and what you chose to focus on. And people like Florence that start with a ridiculous king that is literally the best stats in the game. It's 6 and everything. It's not a king. Florence is a republic, so he's a dictator or whatever it is. Whatever the Florentines had, I'm sure I'll get excoriated for missing that, but whatever. Right, so do we want to go ahead and declare this war right now that this diplomat is free? Is there any reason why I shouldn't? I kind of like another general, but I don't know that waiting for that makes sense. I can totally wipe out this Provence army without even thinking about it. This Holland army is not fighting me. Savoy is kind of a mess right now, though they were rebuilding. Looks like Milan mostly got wiped out as well. Burgundy's still strong, but they're not attacking me. This English trade fleet is sort of trapped in port. Oh, Burgundy! Did Burgundy win that? They still have all their fleet, so they must have won that ocean battle. That's pretty surprising. Well, this is interesting now, actually, because it's very interesting. Because look at this: the English navy's presumably docked up somewhere, probably over here on this side. If I wanted to, I totally have a window right here where they're gonna have to fight their way through Burgundy to get to me. So, yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a good way to get. If I had a port, this port is actually in the Straits of Dover. If I had a port that was facing the Channel, I could declare war, launch my troops over, and the English fleet coming around from London or Essex or Norfolk or wherever it's docked would, I'd have enough of a delay that I'd be able to get over and land some troops before then. Yeah, I think we're okay as we are. I think that England is pretty distracted right now. So yeah, I think we want to do this war. I think we're going to do that in the next episode because I've taken an inordinate amount of time in this one. So we'll go ahead and end it here, and we'll see you back next time where we will start our second war, the first war against Provence. Have a nice day.